back, viewers. It's been interesting discussions, and here we go again. We go on. Right, if I start from you, Mr. Frimpong, don't you think Ghanaian taking in these two Guantanamo Bay detainees would be seen by other terrorist cells around the world as collaborators to the US, and so therefore Ghanaians could be targets on terrorist attacks?
I'll see it 2 ways. You see, if my brother was in prison and he needs a place to resettle, and a neighbor says, "Oh, your brother can come and live with me," and so I will watch over him, not put him under strict, solitary confinement. I don't think they'll see us as collaborators with the Americans. They'll see us as providing a place for their brothers to live. And the issue is, if you are housing someone, invariably the person has family. They might also want to come visit.
Of course.
So would you want, whether the rumors are true, whether Mullah Omar is dead or not? Let's say he's not dead. Would you want Mullah Omar to come in there, take off the night to visit these young men? No.
That'd be interesting.
You understand? So it is not just about them to attack Ghana, but it's about Ghana becoming a hotbed. Because by and by, you see, Burkina Faso, I don't believe, have actually admitted any Guantanamo Bay.
No. The only African countries involved with this taking detainees, Ghana taking 2, and Cape Verde, and also Uganda taking 1.
But we all know what happened to the, what do you call it, Burkina Faso. How can you attack them?
Right.
You understand? So if you are housing their brothers, they will come and visit. How they will take it, whether it's going to be by force or it's going to be in the thick of the night.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Frimpong. Mr. Saban, if I come to you, so do you think now Ghana is going to be seen as like, oh yeah, we are cool with the terrorists, so they're going to be visiting us quite often. We're going to be friends now. Because we're taking 2 of their own.
Ghana is the hot soup. Now, Ghana does not know how to behave in this matter. Ghanaians are thinking, we don't want it, expressing their views, we don't want it because. But at the end of the day, because a wrong deal has been imposed on Ghanaians, it has put Ghanaians in a very difficult situation. As my good man rightly said, a chain reaction is going to come with this. These people are going to marry. They're going to have girlfriends. The economic situation...
They're going to be breeding
terrorists. The economic situation in Ghana is another matter. So if others are going to see us as friendly or not friendly, that's another matter. But what is going to happen in Ghana is what is of a big concern. America is saying, no, we don't want them back. It's a done deal. And so what America is saying is going to affect the relationship between Ghana and the rest of the world. The world is looking at Ghana. This is what our president and his people has put us into. It was unnecessary. Probably, if it was debated properly, Ghana could have said yes. By checking, by seeking and talking. We have got Kofi Annan in Ghana. And so if a situation like this is coming, it should have been in the open for him to assure us how these deals are done and how they were going to be protected and all, but it was not done. And so the question is a tricky one. What people are going to see us, we shouldn't bother. We shouldn't bother at all. We should concentrate on what's going to happen to Ghana. The emotional instability that is happening to Ghana is unfair. The government made a responsible decision to bring them on. They are inexperienced in negotiating these deals. And so what others are going to say about Ghana does not matter. At the end of the day, we are Ghanaians, and what happens to us is what we should be concerned about, not what the next door neighbor is going to think.
Mr. Champo, let me come to you. These people in Ghana at all, just like Mrs. Aban said, they are allowed to have girlfriends, and KK also added their families are meant
they'll come and
visit them
visit.
and so on and so. What's their current status over there? Are they allowed to take employment? If they are going out, are they going to be escorted by the security? Or they are allowed to roam freely? They are allowed to go wherever and any activities they do.
I mean, this issue is very, very tricky. Even though KK says, well, because we are taking charge of them, looking after them, giving them a safe place to live, they might not attack us, but then become visitors to our country. Well, we all know that USA has always been an enemy to these terrorists, and we do have a US embassy in Ghana, and the US embassy also hosts a whole lot of Ghanaians as workers. You know, we have various other places that are more or less
hold American national interest. Yes.
holds American interest, and we have places in Ghana that, when you mention, everyone in the world knows about the castles and the history, or the black history and all that. And now
they would love to visit all those places, right?
Of course, and it's not even about the visit. They are there. They are serving as a link between the outside Al Qaeda group. Now, if they are there serving as the link, underground they can conduct all the necessary research and what they need to do to get to the US embassy.
And remember, these two guys are not just dumb; they are very smart guys to be in their position.
Very intelligent.
Yeah, that's right.
They've met high-rank people in the Al Qaeda network. Whilst in Guantanamo, they met all these people.
Apparently, they are confined
of
to
course,
themselves, you know,
of
so they
course.
cannot relate.
And you was
and so you can't rule out the fact that Ghana at the moment is become a very hotbed for the next Al Qaeda strike.
And also, the US is saying they cannot vouch for their behavior.
Right. That's very interesting.
They cannot.
Very
They cannot guarantee the behavior of these people. And if you cannot guarantee something, why impose it on someone? And why should we take it? Because we don't have sense. We don't
In
have
the
the
first
faith.
place, that's what I asked previously a couple of minutes. Why is the US trying to ask Ghana to clean the mess that it created?
Yes.
It's called national interest.
Your interest should bring benefits.
Let me
So
say this.
what benefit
Okay,
do
let me say
Ghanaians
this.
get
Let me
out
say
of
this.
this?
I don't even see this as a national interest.
In
I see
international
this
politics.
as the interest of an individual who wants to achieve a target, who wants to achieve
Chicken
his aim.
boxes.
Okay.
Obama is
Tick
ticking
all his
boxes.
boxes.
Why not
He's
Kenya?
gotten rid of.
I was gonna
why,
say that.
why not
He's
Kenya?
been able to shut down Guantanamo.
Yes.
It goes
Eric,
down.
There's a saying in
He's
international
desperate and
politics.
imposing.
He's very desperate.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
He's
Okay.
very
There's a
desperate.
saying in international
Take it,
relations
go
or
on.
international politics. America does not have permanent friends. It has permanent
They move around.
interests.
Yes.
That's very interesting. Permanent interest, not
They
permanent
don't have
friends.
permanent friends. So Osama bin Laden, I believe, according to what history has taught us, was used by Americans and the Mujahideens or whatever the name is, and then even the Taliban to fight the Russians in Afghanistan. When it became right or the grounds were fertile, Osama bin Laden became America's enemy, and they went after him. During the Iraq-Iran war, America were giving Iraqi weapons to attack the Iranians. But most of the weaponry the Iranians had prior to the overthrow of the Shah of Iran were supplied by Americans.
Right.
So the Iranians needed what? American parts and supplies. So that came up with, under Ronald Reagan, there was something, there was a scandal called Iran-Contra affair. You understand? So the Americans, through the back channel, were supplying both sets of combatants weapons to fight each other. Then, after the war, Iraq, what was the name? Saddam Hussein, who was an American friend during that war, attacked Kuwait. Americans then used that as a pretext to attack him. So there's always American interest, you see, to forward Americans' prosperity and American.
But the thing is this
At
in America's good interest?
It
I
is
don't
in their
think so.
interest. You just said
Because-
that. Are they
yeah,
trying to
it's their
destabilize Africa? Yes.
interest,
Because
it's a promise that
because
they
one-
gave
one-
to their
one-
people and
one-
they're
one-
fulfilling
That's
one
a
of
promise,
it.
promise, yes.
Right, they're fulfilling their promise like
Of
we're
course,
gonna
I
shut
do.
down Guantanamo Bay,
That's
and
why
they're
I
exactly
believe.
doing
That's
that.
why
You
I
know why it
believe.
is in their interest?
It's-
America
it's-
cannot go to China to say that, or Saudi Arabia to say you should advance the cause of human rights and free the to Mahama to say
We-
free Aung San Suu Kyi
Yeah,
and let
we know
Tibetans
China
have
have
their
lots of
freedom.
human rights
Whereas
issues.
America has Guantanamo Bay people. So they do that, then they have the moral right or authority to then.
Okay,
dictate their
anyway, let's go straight to the point. I'll start with you again, Mr. Frimpong. Regardless of the favors involved, whether monetary or whatever involved or nothing involved, do you think it's too late or can the Ghana government return these two guys?
You see, according to the constitution I read, we need ratification by parliament. And so far, there's a precedent, there's a case. I support him. You see, when the government of Ghana signed a deal with a Spanish company and it didn't go to parliament for ratification, the Supreme Court of Ghana said we need a parliamentary approval for this deal to go through.
So do you think this can also be taken to court?
Any citizen of Ghana who feels aggrieved can go to court, not necessarily to say whether we've done right or wrong, but whether what the president did had to go to parliament, and if not, it shouldn't have gone to parliament. Was the president right to say that he's invoking his war powers, and what are the limits of the? You see, these are conversations we need to have, and sometimes it's good for our democracy. America is advocating that Ghana becomes a democratic country, and their Senate has actually decided not to take these people on.
Right.
You understand? Under American law, the Senate has to ratify the laws of American government, and so far as they have sent them to Ghana, I believe their Senate has ratified them.
Right.
So
So what we
have to
learning
do
from
the
there?
same
Why
thing.
don't exactly
We also
why
have to do the
didn't
same
we
thing.
ratify the thing before we take them?
If we don't ratify them, then they have to go. Or if Parliament is up to scratch, the President, believe me, may have infringed our constitution, so they have to do the right thing, which is they have to be looking at impeachment. If that's
Okay.
the case.
If that's very interesting. If I come to you, Mrs. Zaban, do you think we can do a U-turn? We said it, but now it's a lie. We don't want it no more. Take your guys back.
I believe a U-turn is what Ghanaians are hoping for. Whether it can happen depends on what our parliament will do. America will not take them because they've said it. And we know America is a bully. The government has been bullied in a nice way to suit their needs. Obama is leaving office and he's taking boxes. Why not Kenya? Why Ghana?
Fair play.
So we've got them. And so it is up to the people of Ghana to stand up and face the government and face the leadership, because the leadership has disappointed Ghana several times according to what Ghana says. But now it has gone to a point where it's not safe.
That's a very interesting point there. Thanks, Mrs. Zaban. Prince, this whole thing is just unbelievable. It's shocking. That's how I find it. So how do the people of Ghana stand up to the government and say, guys, we don't want them no more. Take them back.
I believe the Ghanaian people need to come together and demonstrate hugely against this decision, because it's something that it doesn't. We are being forced to accept something we don't even understand. We are being forced to take on somebody we don't know, people we don't know what their potentials are, what their capabilities are.
So you didn't take these guys out of the goodness of your beautiful hospitality hearts.
Well, maybe the president did, but certainly we didn't. So
Yes.
maybe he should take them to his home and live with them.
It's
Wow,
not that
because
simple.
At the end of the
It's
day,
not that simple.
Taking them to his home,
Yeah,
home
maybe.
is
Still in Ghana.
of course, then
Ghana,
at
so
the end of the
yes,
day,
so
he
got
can,
this.
he can keep them in his home and then
You see,
lock them up and stay there with them.
Prince,
Okay,
I-
so
Seriously.
I can, Mr. Primpon, we're running out of time now. How do people of Ghana stand up to this?
how do you stand up
To this?
to this? When your president is not responsible, your government you elected is not responsible, you go through the courts, you do the right thing, you make sure that the right thing is done, and the right thing to be done is for this case to be debated in the floors of parliament. If parliamentarians approve to accept them, then come election time, we know which parliamentarians decided to bring terrorists into Ghana. If we need to vote them out, we vote them out. And
Should.
if he has to go to court, then we seek redress. We have to go through so many processes, which has not happened. But then we are faced with this. So there has to be, someone has to be answerable. And it's not the people. The people must call their representatives and even the president to account.
Probably we're due to have the first referendum in Ghana before the elections, because we wait for elections. We know how these elections can turn left or right. We cannot wait for elections to make decisions such like this.
In our constitution,
let's consult the people of Ghana by going through a referendum and hear the voices of the people. That has never been done. Let's start from there. Court, you can go. We know how. Our judges look at what happened. Supposing somebody is part of this, what would they think?
What would be the outcome?
Yes,
of the whole
so-
thing? Okay, that's interesting. So that means, Mrs. Abbott, you don't have trust in the judiciary.
I don't.
You don't. Interesting. You mentioned there's going to be demonstration. People have to hit on the street and demonstrate. Who organized that demonstration?
Well, I believe, as he rightly says, the opposition party should be able to do that. I don't believe.
But they're not
I
doing
don't-
that.
I don't
so
believe-
what
I
should
don't-
the ordinary Ghanaian
Referendums
person
are powerful
do?
than demonstrations.
Well, I mean, I'll still take it on the opposition party. They should find a way to organize the people and demonstrate massively against this whole
the
decision.
opposition has been
It's not
demonstrating
necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have
Oh,
to
the
be.
opposition has been
It doesn't
demonstrating about
necessarily-
this?
the electoral commission. So when it matters
But
most,
this-
which is
this
the
is
national
different
security,
issue.
why cannot do that?
Yes, they need
Yeah.
to come
Right.
in. They
They
need
need
to.
to
They
come in.
need
They
to.
have the
Because they've been too quiet.
Okay,
So
without
the opposition has
without
been
without
too
the
quiet.
opposition, how do people, the ordinary citizens who don't belong to party A or B, mobilize themselves and hit the street
They
and then
can do it.
and
All
then
they
stand
need
up
is-
against
They,
it?
all they need to do is to join the opposition party.
No, not just
They
opposition. You see, all you need is
All that's what
mobilization.
we
Any
Any
Ghanaian
Ghanaian at
can
all can
demonstrate,
mobilize.
so long as you have the right permits from the police. You have the right to
Okay,
demonstrate.
all right.
That's what
Okay,
democracy
Prince,
is.
your final word, for your final word, what is the way forward to
Well,
this situation? What do Ghanaians have to do right now?
I believe this is not just to do with Ghana, because as one of the youngest senators of America said, Senator Kelly, I said this is actually a threat to America itself, because if you are sending 10 detainees to Oman, which is very close to Yemen, and we do know the Al Qaeda, the Al Qaeda in Arabian Peninsula are really campaigning massively against America, and you're taking 10 of them to more or less add to the ones they already have there. They can easily cross the borders and get to Yemen. Now you're sending 2 high-risk terrorists to Ghana. They can easily cross the borders to Ouagadougou and team up with the Al Qaeda network in Ouagadougou. They can even link up with Boko Haram in Nigeria. So what you are creating is a network of terrorists in the world to destabilize world peace. And so this is something we really need to take seriously. And leaders of the world need to come together and find a better solution to what's going on. I heard that, the president of Zimbabwe came out to their just rumors to say something about this whole thing. But I believe AU should, hold an emergency meeting to try and see how best they can help the situation.
What is ECHO was saying?
What is ECHO was saying? So this is not just Ghana. This is Africa, and to a larger extent to the world. Something needs to be done, and I believe it can start from Ghana. An individual in Ghana can take this whole thing to court, and it will escalate. For all you know, Americans think Ghana is a small country that no one cares about. But if we start making noise, if we start telling the world that, look, this is what's happening to us and we don't like it, somebody somewhere would listen and something will be done about it.
Thanks very much, Prince. Mrs. Abba, before you proceed, I'll say something. You said something. Americans said they cannot vouch for their behavior.
They cannot.
And you, as a mom, I'll cite an example. Ibrahim Al-Kosi, who was also a detainee at the Guantanamo Bay, he was ushered into this 2-year reintegration program in Sudan in 2012. At the end of the day, this guy flew back to Yemen, where he is a Al-Qaeda boss right now. And these two in Ghana, their behavior as a mom, talking from the perspective of mom, would that have influence on our people back home? Are they going to influence them to be terrorists too?
Everything is possible.
Okay. All right.
Everything is possible. See, because of the way the negotiation went and the way it was imposed on us, we are only thinking on the negative side, which we should, because it's the only thing we can think of. If it was good enough, we would have been told. And because we were not told, the negative side that we're thinking is fair. And I, being a mother, if one of them were my sons and they've not been cleared well enough, I'll be afraid to deal with them.
So, what is the way forward?
The way forward
And
is
your final message.
the way forward is to sanction the parliament to look into it, both sides, opposition and the administration, because they are all lying to us. We need to know exactly the deal and how they're going to manage these people, whether they have the facilities to tag them or not to tag them. We need some security and some assurance, because our big brother is saying
he cannot vouch
for them. And so are they going to provide financial assistance for them to have tax so that they can be monitored? Something to assure Ghanaians that it's been done, we made a mistake, but this is the way forward for you to have your peace of mind. Because I don't want to go to the market looking at anybody with a beard and start running. I don't need that.
I would love to see you running, Mrs. Abe. Mr. Frimpong, what's the way forward and your final word?
The way forward is simple. You see, if you make your bed, you have to lie in it. So far, the people are being sent to Western region, I believe. And if it was a good place, or if they are good people, charity begins at home. The president, I believe, was a former member of parliament for Bolivambo. See, we should take them to Bolivambo. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
They're still Ghana. So.
I'm not saying that people of Bolivambo deserve less. But if they are good and by his humanitarian assistance, he should take them to his father's house in Bolivambo to house them. And you see where I'm coming from. If the people are happy, yes, they are Ghanaians. We also take that on board. But so far, I don't believe anybody in Bolivambo will be happy that such and such a person will be their neighbor. So my point is, any Ghanaian will not be happy, and deep down, that's a very, very right thing for everyone to feel. You don't want to know that your next door neighbor is a rapist or, say, an armed robber. And comparing terrorism to any other form of crime is the highest form that you can ever have. So it's a no-brainer. We should never even have had them in Ghana to begin with. And we should have opened up the discourse, but we didn't. That means there's more to it. So far, coming events have shown that as far as there was allegation of 200 million, and now there's no monetary inducement. Foreign minister is saying that I wasn't privy to certain things. Interior minister is saying that there are so many.
There's inconsistency
so
in the whole process.
Many questions, that Ghanaians need answers to.
Lack of transparency in the whole process.
To be honest, they need to come out to tell us that okay, they can admit that it's screwed up. You see, Ghanaians are very forgiving. That's
Would you forgive them? Okay.
Oh, you see, there's nothing wrong in admitting that you did something wrong. You understand? That is what humanity is about. If you do something wrong, you can apologize and say, oh, we goofed. But then to still insist and go around and say, oh, we don't live in animal farm. You understand? Where 2 legs are good and 4 legs are bad. In the end, we all know how it ended up. 4 legs and you see, they had to ostracize certain people that were part of the revolution. That's the story of animal farm. So yes, it's wrong if you do something and you want to apologize. We will accept it. But going forward, Ghanaians have to test our own laws. If our constitution or the court say that what the president did was indeed right, then that means going forward, Ghanaians have to be careful, because any president can do anything and invoke their war powers.
Right.
And I believe that we didn't sign up to become a democracy where we have one person do things that
for the whole
that's not
country.
benefit Ghana.
Right.
That means that we were better off even under military rule.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, people, for beautiful discussions we have this evening. Robert Nestamali once said, "Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds." Myself, the discussion team, and the production crew behind the cameras, we reckon it's about time African leaders take responsibility to make decisions that will benefit the people but not their own selfish interests. Thank you for watching and see you in the next episode.